Let me just clap. Hold on.
This better be good angle though, girl. I'm feeling a little.
That's a good angle. No, what do you mean? It's the same. We're sitting.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna. So, continue. All right.
Okay.
I need to get a little clapper. All rhinestone bedazzled.
Yes.
Aw, can Donato make me one? The little clapper.
We're gonna have little bedazzle fans.
Bedazzled, yeah. So we were talking about, are you the most fragile when you decide to stop using?
I haven't really seen that. It's
No?
more like they give up and they get, it's really hard when you're in the industry and like you have a problem with drugs or alcohol because you end up getting canceled because you're not insurable. That's what happened to Lindsay Lohan. That's kind of what happened to Seth. Mm-hmm. And you become too big of a risk. And it's really hard to deal with the highs and the lows and so I mean when you have it all and you like start to lose it, like it can make you just want to go even more into an addiction. And so but yeah, I would say I haven't really seen that. I mean I haven't seen that trend yet, but it doesn't mean it's not there.
like Disney, like all the sex addiction, everything, what's going on. Like even like since the Wizard of Oz, like Dorothy was molested, Shirley Temple was molested, and here we are looking at these little icons, and we're like, oh my God, look how sweet their lives must be, so amazing. But it was all like pedophiles and drug addiction and basically sex addiction, like run riots. And that's still existing today, because there's no program, there's no steps, there's no nothing. It's like, do another movie, get skinny, here's a pill, do another movie. I work with a lot of professional fighters, and basically, you would think they had like a spiritual, program, and a lot of them do. Like a lot of them go to Africa and, they pray to beads and they pray to this and they pray to that. And they think that they're like spiritually sound. But basically, when you're a big celebrity like that, and, your agent's telling you, just win, and basically, okay, do another fight. Okay, Will Smith, do another movie. But, you see what happened, the anger, how he punched Chris Rock. That's untreated alcoholism at its worst. So they're the greatest at this, they're the greatest at that, you know what I mean? But basically they have no solution, no relief in their life, no spiritual foundation. And the only thing that I know, because I've tried everything, like the only thing I didn't try was ayahuasca. That's the new thing. Everybody's going to Mexico, they're drinking ayahuasca. Yeah, I have a spiritual experience. No, bitch. You're not having a spiritual. You're actually getting motherfucking high. And basically, it's not helping you. There's only one way to get to the source, and that's through these 12 steps.
At least that's like super sustainable, too. Because it's like you need something that can work even if you can't reach that magical sponsor at 3 a.m. You need something that's going to work no matter how big or how small your life gets. Like whether
and basically, when you work the steps, it's like the big one is an amends and a 10-step. And basically, that's like, what did I do wrong throughout my day? Do I owe an apology? And basically, because when you're resentful at a person, place, or thing, it's like you're giving them the poison, but you're actually drinking it. So basically, that's why now, like when I have, because nobody's perfect, right? So when I have a little road rage or when I have a little argument at the store, like immediately the next day or that night, I work on like, where was I wrong? And I see my part, because we all have a part, right? There's nobody like innocent. Unless you're a child and you're getting molested, then you're innocent. You don't have a part in that. It's just people totally taking advantage of you. But when you get older, you learn that you have a part in everything you do. So basically, by doing the steps, you see the ugly truth. Like, I was wrong. I do owe an amends. I do have to apologize for this. Right. Because the resentment I'm really not apologizing for you. It's kind of a selfish program. I'm apologizing for me because I don't want to hold that inside because I can't afford, the book says, the luxury of having a resentment.
Yeah.
Because it will kill me.
Yeah.
So basically, when I'm relieved of it and I make the amends and I'm sorry, is there anything I could do to make it better? I was wrong yesterday. You know, that really helps. That in the nutshell will just like solve like all the murders in the world. Like seriously.
Right.
That in the nutshell was, you know, all this prejudice and like all this separation, like black, white, Spanish, China, you know what I mean? Basically, that will stop all that bullshit.
Right.
But like nobody knows, nobody's listening.
Right.
So that's why I'm kind of glad to like transmit something that's helping me, you know, be in a world where there's like, it's unity. It's like I work with everybody at all walks of life, you know, and I have to deal with them on a daily basis. And basically, I deal with it a whole different way now. Like I'm still crazy and funny and do my thing, but basically there really is no like arguments in my world. You know, there's no drama in like my store with the customers. Like they're happy to come back because basically I learned how to deal with, you know, I learned how to deal, you know, and, you know, I just owe everything to these steps. And I just want, I don't know, I just want to translate the message that, I don't know, it's like, it's so big. Like, you know, I just want to help people like, stay sober, number one, but then when you're sober, get rid of that fucking voice in your head, the anger and all those issues,
right?
And just all the magic around these steps.
Because there's different levels of sobriety. So what we're doing is like we're trying to create more sanity, which is a really big deal because the world and the systems in this world are pretty insane. Racism is insane. Prejudice is insane. It's all insanity. And so, okay, cool. Level 1, physical sobriety, right? But then there's a level of emotional sobriety. Then there's sobriety around how you're dating, sobriety around how you're doing relationships. There's sobriety around food, coffee.
I had a sponsor, and he's like, you know, before you do your fourth step, you know, you're walking around insane. Your head is up your motherfucking ass, and you're walking around insane. And I was like, so insulted. I'm like, me insane? You're calling me insane? I'm like, what? But actually, like before we do these steps, like in the morning, sometimes I'll grab a broom and the OCD kicks in. And then I'll grab the cigarettes and a whole pack and coffee. And I'll see how like the insanity, you know, like before I do these steps, it doesn't really go away. You know, it's how you navigate it, you know, how you implement them in your life. And then after I do these steps, I see that I am. My dogs are insane right now. See, something's going on, right? But walking around insane. But then after I do these steps, like I see the insanity on paper, and I'm like, okay, pause. And then that's when the meditation comes in, which is beautiful. Like the meditation is something like, you know, when I wake up from a meditation, like, you know, there's literally like tears in my eyes of gratitude, you know, because basically it's just like so much relief that you can't get from a drug or a drink or a crack pipe. It's just the relief is overwhelming. So, I don't know, you ready to teach the world?
Of course.
Are you ready to kind of show it? Maybe.
Yeah.
And see if we could help some people. And there's another thing, too. It says AA, you know, it was written in 1935, the book, you know, and it says, you know, no press, radio, or film. But literally now, these days, like, I don't know if you saw that. You ever see that show with, that show called Ma? With what's her name, Ferris?
Mia.
No, the comedian.
Oh, Anna Faris.
Anna Faris.
Yeah.
So literally, that whole show is about AA, you know. The anonymity is gone, you know, and it shows. And I love that they did that.
Also, like, we're doing AA, like, we're kind of black sheep of AA, like, you know, in a way.
Right. They consider us, the old timers, the black sheep. You're not supposed to be
you're not supposed to be taking so much meditation and inventory
right, and it only should be in the rooms of AA. Like, you shouldn't really
sounds like a cult.
Be on radio. It's kind of cultish. You shouldn't be on like a podcast talking about this. But now I think it's time to save some fucking lives here, guys. And it's like, because everybody's motherfucking dying.
Yeah. Nobody's listening.
Bill Wilson said this is only spiritual kindergarten, so we're ready to go to the first grade.
I'm ready. She's ready. She ready. Yeah.
So, like, should we do a disclosure in a way that we're not professionals and we're trying to help, but you still guys, how can we make sure? Because we want to help, but also want to make sure that...
Well, this is just meant to be suggested only, right? We realize we know only a little. No, but basically, this is just suggestions that work for us, Other people have their own way of doing things, but I think this is the only thing I've tried, like I said, and I've tried everything but ayahuasca, and I really don't think that's
ayahuasca. Ayahuasca.
How do you say it?
No, I think it's ayahuasca, but he calls it ayahuasca. Which is so
I like your way better.
I love your way better.
I saw the spelling of it. I was like, oh shit, okay. That's like, I spelled it.
There is an H.
I love that.
But I think Cosmo puts it in the beginning.
I love that.
But like I said,
Alana Del Rey. Alana.
I'm that garden variety alcoholic drug addict, basically. And you see us everywhere, And the only thing that worked for me was these steps. Mm-hmm. So I want to share with you guys what worked for me. That's why I put the sponsor on, Ansley. And basically Eugenia actually, with the OCD, she was having a little problem too.
I
said, bitch, you need a fucking exorcism too, bitch. Come on now. How can we talk about exorcism?
Yes, please. Let's talk about exorcisms.
Okay. So the steps really work if you work them, okay? And they're just meant to be suggested, but they work. Trust me.
They affect the people around you. Not what I'm realizing too about this practice, being a practitioner of this daily practice. It's not everyone's meant to be a practitioner of it, but it will help people become more sober-minded, more sane. Everyone will benefit from the field in your life, like from the meditations, like the whole neighborhood will benefit. Because, and I just want to say with and for alcoholics and addicts especially, like, it's like if you don't understand, if you keep butting up against the same pattern and the same problem, it's probably like some kind of generational curse. It's probably some kind of childhood wound, mommy wound, daddy wound, and it's really hard. History just repeats itself. So it's really hard to break those patterns. So if that's the case, it's like the writing is going to help you see your part. Your part is you have fear and you have resentment. And it's the number one offender is resentment, and everyone has fear. And if we can conquer being like the fear thing and being more fearless, like we can become liberated beings and we can have at least one spiritually transformative experience every single day. And so a lot of alcoholics can't meditate. They can't make conscious contact with God, all power. And so, doing the writing before the meditation helps that even be possible. You can't go to a meeting and listen. That's why nobody's listening, because you've got a head full of fear and resentment. So you can't hear other people. And then the greatest gift you could ever give someone is to be able to listen to them. And so the way that I don't enable the people that I work with, because, you hear that I was unconditionally loving, right? And held space for, the process and the progress. But like the thing that I do is I'm not a therapist. I'm literally not, and so I can help people that are willing to do the work, that can actually, like Cosmo, we do it together. Like we sit there and we set a timer and we write out our inventory and then we meditate together. And then Cosmo will read it. And just you hearing you read it out loud and me hearing it. I actually relate a lot to Cosmo. I mean, we're both Italian blood and,
I didn't know that.
We both been in LA a long time. So we got some of that Italian blood in us, and I do relate a lot. I love humor, I love comedy. But like, okay, like I'll help with the internal makeover. Please help me with the external makeover. Cosmo's had to give me so many makeovers. So it's a team effort. It's a glam squad. So, but yeah, so
what are the practical steps? Like, if someone maybe can someone from your family sponsor you? If they're really willing, can they learn? Or it has to be someone that has gone through addiction?
I think it's got to be somebody who worked the steps, of course.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And do it the way, like, Ansley taught me how to do it. You know, and I'm lucky enough to have her still in my back house, you know. And somebody you could connect with on a daily basis, you know, and tell all your secrets, you know. Because when you go to a meeting, you share, like, in a general way. You don't want to share, like, too much in a meeting because you don't know, you know, there's a meeting. But basically, you don't know who's in there, you know. So basically, you share in a general way. But what you do with your sponsor when you do the steps and you write all those fears, first of all, the fears that you're writing down are like, it's all false. It's all the shit in your head. And then you find out after you read them to your sponsor that the monster's not underneath the bed at all. It's not there. The monster you think and the secrets and the shame and all that.
the call is coming from inside the house.
The calls are coming from inside the house.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Can you explain?
Yeah. So basically, you know how you wake up and you always think the worst thing's going to happen or this and that, you know, the lions and tigers and bears. So when you work the steps, you put the pen to paper and there's magic when you put the pen to paper. Like I talk to some people and they're like, I have one resentment. I'm like, oh, you only have one resentment? Okay, well, here's a pen and write down all your resentments and people and your family and everything like that. And then before you know it, there's literally like 5 sheets of resentments. Like once you start writing, you know, it's like you can't stop. It just automatically puts down all your fears and resentments.
It's a self-exorcism.
It's a self thing. Yeah, it's a self-diagnosis.
It's a part of the exorcist process.
Yes.
And exorcists have to clear because it's like we're always getting other people's demons on us.
Right.
So we got to clear.
You got to clear, and you got to have that conscious contact with God. You know, I grew up Catholic. There's some things I hold on to, and it's like that God was loving. You know, it was just the practice of being Catholic was like I couldn't be gay, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, but I always believed God wanted me here. You know, God. What did I say when I was younger at the Bible study?
You said that, truth shall set us free.
The truth shall set you free.
Yeah.
You know, and my truth is that I'm a homosexual, you know, and like it blew everybody, my mother's friends, and it blew everybody's minds how I stuck to that. So I did have the conscious contact, you know, as a child.
That's why you're the mother.
That's why I'm the mother.
The OG LGBT.
But here's the deal with drug addiction. Like my conscious contact, my higher power was the drug. Like forgetting all about God. But then when I got sober, like God met me again, you know, and he protected me and all the angels kept me alive and unscathed because the neighborhoods and everything that I hung with, it was like pure possession. Oh my God. And speaking of possession, I did have a friend that I love very much, and he was on crystal meth. And then also, basically, not only that, we tried to get him sober. Do you remember I brought him to you? And I was like, Ansley, could we please pray over him? And she has a connection with religion as well, you know. She has like, you know, a very religious upbringing, you know, and she's also an empath, basically like me. Like I feel things and I see things around me, but she really sees them. Like she sees them vividly.
I have a connection with Yeshua, Jesus, Yahweh, God, and Shekinah, Holy Spirit. Religion, I literally don't like most of it. It's not very helpful.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting it right either.
Right. Right.
But
so anyway, I had a really bad problem with my friend. I was like, you got to get him sober. Do you want to get sober? So anyway, he stood in my house, and basically he was so talented, so good looking, but he could not stop smoking crystal. So I knew it was in my bathroom. Like, I knew, but he was like, he wouldn't be really tweaking. He would tweak on wigs. So he would sit in the chair. We would watch, reality shows, and he's tweaking on wigs. And I'm like, I'm going to help get this guy sober. Like, we're going to get him sober, And I seen the willingness, too. I saw the willingness. For him to be in my house for 2 weeks alone was like, and not running around, because he had a car, and he had an apartment, and he had a dog and everything. But he wanted to be with me. So that was the willingness right there. But I seen that I was like kind of losing the battle, and I seen in his face, like I seen a darkness. So I said, Ansley, I need help with the sponsee. You got to help me, girl. And she came in, and basically she saw what I saw, And not only was this person like spiritually sick, he also was physically sick, This person found out he had cancer. So basically broke my heart, and the disease had him by the fucking balls, But I could tell he wanted to live because he kept on staying around me, and he's like, I'm going to get sober, and he came for me for help. But anyway, I had to call the big dogs. I had to call Ansley, okay? And I said, Ansley, please come over. This guy needs help. Like, let's work the steps with him. But we had to do a little extra work on him. You want to share about that?
I always like your I like the way you
Okay, I cannot believe my eyes this day. So we worked the steps, and I seen that he was uneasy sitting in the chair, basically. But I seen the disease was still there. So basically, Ansley felt it too. So she started praying over him, basically. And it was kind of like she was talking in tongues. She was praying in tongues to him, after we meditated, And I know she saw this demon. I saw the demon, I got to see things to believe them. The movie The Exorcist, I literally got to see a demon.
Yeah.
I literally saw him turn black when she was praying over him. I saw the fight in the demon, and he's just sitting there like that. And then she's like, shugga. She's like punching the fucking, she's in another state of mind. And basically, she's fighting this demon in my living room. And I'm witnessing this. And I really should have filmed it. And I see him turning black like a voodoo doll. The demon had him in the grips. Anyway, she literally fought, she was levitating, girl. She wasn't even there. And she was fighting the fucking demon.
I was trying to get that entity to leave.
And just tell them how you feel things.
Yeah, I feel things. I know other people who see more. My eyes were closed, so I didn't see the black face, the face turned black that Cosmo saw because my eyes were closed. But yeah, I really feel when there is some kind of an entity attached to someone. And I forget what I asked him about his bloodline. I somehow knew something with South America. I don't know. I just started praying over him in tongues because it's a language that, you can use that's higher than English.
How did you learn that language? Because I was blown away when I saw her doing this, exorcism. It was working the steps 2.0. Okay? So basically, we did the steps, but he needed the extra help. There was this entity in him. And then I saw it leave. But she was literally throwing punches at it, leave, you must leave now, must sugar on the window. And she was doing all these, speaking in tongues. And I was like, wow, my sponsor's the shit, bitch, okay? My sponsor is too much because she goes the extra level. So I want to share about the extra level and how you learn to talk in tongues. Is it a gift? Basically, because I don't think I can't reach that level.
I think you could.
Okay. Well, can you tell us a little bit?
Part 2.
Okay, I'm down, girl. I want to do like exorcisms.
Queen of Melrose 2.0.
Yes, Ghostbusters. We could be the Ghostbusters right here. Could you share about how you learned that? Or is it a gift, like to speak in tongues and to know that there was a demonic entity in this person?
Right.
By the way, who is sober after we did this with him, worked the steps and did this exorcism and casted the demon out. It was literally a demon.
Yeah.
And basically, I think he got it downtown LA, because it's like, anyway, long story short, clean and sober till this day.
There's multiple
way.
stuff.
And how is he?
And he
He's
beat
doing
cancer.
And he beat cancer.
Stage 4 cancer.
Wow.
Thriving.
Yeah, we're
Thriving.
happy.
We should have him as a guest.
He just came to visit me not too long ago. Looks beautiful, clean and sober, managing what he loves to do.
I have goosebumps.
Back to work.
Goosebumps.
Stage 4 cancer. Gone.
And he got reunited with his mom. Like, he had to go stay with his mom, and he had a good relationship with her, and when he was beating the cancer and everything. So
this literally works. Like, this literally works. I am a testament. How do you say a testament with the testimony?
I think.
This kind of a saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to go to church, girl. We got to go to Delaree's church. That's where we'll hear that. But, yeah. So it's all spiritual. You know what I mean?
Testament with the testimony, I think,
Yeah. And basically, it works. It really works if you work it. So basically, this is for like all the little, it's just generational curses, and they just continue and continue. And now you see how backwards we are now. They want to take away gay rights, and there's all this prejudice. The government wants us to fight against each other, and it's all just the devil's playground, really. And it all could be removed. Fucking removed if you learn how to do like the spiritual work,
Yeah, it can have a big impact, and we didn't get unwell and alone, and we heal with each other. Like, we heal in community, and we create like a healing field and a network. Like, you knew to call me, came to our friend. So
we also had to do an exorcism on someone else too, who was having a big problem with denial. You know, and we took him in the yard, and we actually did this whole ceremony with him. It was actually filmed on Netflix. Yeah. So anyway, it's going to be coming out soon. Basically, so yes, you could hire Cosmo, Ansley, and Eugenia. We could come over your house and do exorcism. We could actually scoop up your husband, but we'll bring him.
And I'm sorry that I'm like always kind of a production. How do we move forward? What are the clear steps? But maybe not today, because I feel like we talked over like an hour.
No. It's going to take a while.
Right. But maybe like for future, what would be proposed? Because our audience, Cosmo's audience, not all of them, but maybe like 40% are people interested in or struggling or have someone with addiction,
with some kind of addiction.
Probably 100% are struggling with something and need hope. So I think Cosmo has been this like beacon of hope, which is
a chosen one, essentially.
I read all the comments,
Guys, this is lipstick. You guys got to get yourself a little lipstick.
It's true.
Animals are so healing.
Yeah.
Like, who needs a husband when you have a lipstick?
Yeah.
Exactly. So not today probably, but moving forward, we are thinking of figuring out a way to help more people. But maybe next time you can share kind of step by step, and maybe use me as an example or Cosmo as an example, and we can break down the situation when someone comes to you. We can maybe like role play it, or I don't know. What do you think? Like, I just want to have, like, if someone decides to get sober and it's their first day, what do they do? Like, what are the steps so they can have like a clear path almost to success, right? Like the way I had a clear path with my gym situation and food, whatever. And Cosmo had kind of a clear path because you were guiding. Like, but if someone's watching and they're still using, right? What is the baby step, the first initial baby step to...
Well, they're doing it because what we're creating is like basically what we just created today is almost like a long 12-step, like a long meeting. And you're seeing, one or the three of us like talk one to another, about these issues and hearing these stories of recovery and transformation, and that gives the hope. And some people are gonna want to do more, and there's a lot, we'll see what happens.
Well, there's a format to it, basically. So if you kind of like want what we have, there is a format to it. Basically, we're figuring that out now, how to do maybe a little class or a little seminar, like have a meeting with my fans, the ones that are hurting, the ones who aren't hurting, the alcoholics and the people who are not alcoholics. They just may have another problem, So we're just like, this is like the beginning of it. Right. Basically, we're figuring that out, again, we're not forcing it down anybody's throats, but, it works.
It's like, I think like the step is like, it's not all about you. You gotta go and you gotta go help someone else, right? Because when you're helping someone else, you could send them this video, say, it is possible to be sober. Cosmo got sober. Have you heard of,
If it's not about you, if you are using, still send it to someone, or you're someone who is witnessing someone using? Like, who should be sending it? Both?
Well, our purpose here is to help someone else.
That's what truly heals the addiction.
Like, no money could fix it. Money's nice. Don't get me wrong. You need money to live, but there's no boyfriend, no sexual organ, nothing could fix what we have. The hole will always be there, Basically, the only thing that really helps us as addicts, alcoholics, OCD, whatever you want to call it, is one person helping another person. Being of service is the only thing that could make you feel, if you do like, if you do self-esteemable acts, you will definitely get self-esteem. And by you like giving the message of there's hope, there's a solution, basically that's the only thing that fixes us, really, at the end of the day.
Right. That's really what...
It's not the money, it's not the boyfriend, it's not even the food, even though I love me some food, honey. But it's just relaying the message. It's one person helping another person. But what we want to do is like kind of like help the world because there's a crisis.
I wonder, Cosmo, actually, wild idea, if you and Ansley should go to Software Underbelly and do that same thing because he has a larger audience and help and like, but have like a clearer, maybe like a clearer path of what, like clear, maybe
I would love to.
A little,
not
scripted, but you know what I mean. We kind of like the mics were flying, coffees was on the floor,
no, you're right.
Today was, but maybe I'm just it just kind of hit me.
That's the best platform.
That's the best platform because that's exactly
because that's like he's got so many followers and see how he helped us.
Exactly. So, but so many followers there really are suffering, and then they are in the comments or they are like witnessing someone of their, some of their family members suffering. So I feel like going to Mark and just providing that value, because Cosmo's channel is really small still. We have 33,642 subscribers that I'm checking every 5 minutes. But I need help. The morning I wake up,
she needs a meeting, girl.
I'm like, stats. Anyway, so basically, but with Mark, this is perfect. I don't know why didn't we think about that? But this is perfect.
But that's what happens when you work the steps and you talk about sobriety. Basically, you're just like, your head, it just goes to like positive and the channel's opening and you just get more productive. And that's an example of what you just said. But you're always coming out with some fabulous, like...
And it's a solution with fat letter S, like solution. You know what I mean? Like, that's it's gonna be so beneficial. And...
would you go on Software Underbelly?
Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would want to do it.
Yeah.
Watch out for the photo, though, the thumbnail.
I'm scared. I don't want to get a lashing.
That fucking thumbnail, girl. I can't. I still can't get around that.
Anything
you're gonna have to work steps on that photo alone for like
to not have to kill yourself
for a month.
Right, that's gonna be like that's the work you have to do.
No, bitch. Do I have wrinkles there? I don't. I think it just adds to it to make you look all fucked up. So you never want to drink and use again. Yes.
You have to be recovering after you've been recovering.
Oh yeah.
After you recover,
recovery through vanity. It works, honey. It works.
Yeah. So yeah. No, just gets still.
No, you're right,
hot.
because you know what? The software underbelly, you know why I just went viral is because I went there with some solution. Like, I got sober. This is how I did it.
You set the example, yeah.
I set an example. That's why people went out of their minds. But usually the people in those stories don't really have a solution. So here she is. Right here, she helped the queen. Yes. This is really the queen mother right here, honey. Yeah, like she saved my life. For real. And never, ever, like, you know who you're channeling? My grandmother. My grandmother's in this one right here. You know that love from your grandma? You know, even though she's young and pretty and all that, but she has like this old love, old school love, and it's like unconditional, like a grandmother's love. That's what I needed to get sober, guys. I didn't need these people like, change your outfit, don't curse at a meeting, don't throw no chairs, you know. No, that doesn't work with me. The queen has to throw a chair or two. But this is what you need, like somebody really loving and, you know, and been there to, you know, to the same places that you've been, you know, and not judge you for any of it. Because, you know, we're alcoholics and addicts. You know, we can't help ourselves, you know, but there's a way you have to, like, there's a whole process, you know, and basically we want to, like, yeah, let's breathe. We're
getting to know, like, Cosmo's getting to know some of you. You know, you're coming to the store. You're literally getting on planes and you're, like, going to see Cosmo. Cosmo is a walking community. Cosmo, if you didn't notice, has a total entourage everywhere you go. So you are surrounded with a community. Your whole store in itself is a community. And it's, you know, really what I'm hearing is, like, we're trying to make more purpose-driven community so that we can all be in a safe place to heal, feel, and deal. And some people will just take the medicine and it'll be like hearing these podcasts and watching Cosmo's channel. But other people are going to say, you know what, I want to learn how to, like, be a practitioner of this so I'm a therapist too. I want to be able to help my clients. I'm a social worker. I want to be able to help my clients. I'm in med school. I want to be able to help my patients in the ER. I work in the fashion world that's riddled with, like, cocaine. Like, I want to help my clients, you know, or my friends or my loved ones. So there's going to be people who emerge. Not everyone is going to be able to, like, be like a daily practitioner of this, but some people will emerge and they will want to carry this message. And even that is how, like, if you're in active addiction, like, you have to, like, I mean, it depends on where you're at. Let's really get into the nuts and bolts right now. Some people, they cannot quit on their own. It's not safe. So the first step, Cosmo and I have had to deal with this with a lot of people here in Burbank, where people have to go to detox. So that's you know, a lot of people's first step is a medically assisted detox, right? Then a lot of the time those same people have to go into sober living, and then they're out and they have to maintain their sobriety. If you're in depression, if you're having issues going on in your life, if the world is just too much and maybe you're addicted to your phone, which is, like, it's really serious, like, addiction in itself, but it's not the same as, like, being, like, on fentanyl. Like, one use of fentanyl could kill a person.
Stop.
The fentanyls and everything. So it's like, it's really not safe to, like, be an addict anymore, at all. It never was, but it's escalated into a whole new level of danger. So it's really about, like, taking that step and going to the hospital. Sometimes some of our people that we've carried the message to around here, like, we've been like, you still said you got to go to the ER. You got to start.
Well, you know
there.
what? Yeah, because right now it's hard to get into rehab. It's hard to get in rehabs right now, you know, especially a free rehab. And then you got to show a willingness. Like, you got to call every day. So in that process, you could actually drop dead in that process before they say, okay, come on in. So we have a bed for you, it could be like 3 weeks, you could actually drop dead, before that. So my suggestion is you just go to a hospital with an emergency room and just say, I'm 5150. Basically, I'm suicidal.
What does it mean?
5150 is I'm suicidal. Okay. I'm going to kill myself. Because actually, active addiction is killing yourself. So basically, you go away for a 3-day lockdown, or a 72-hour lockdown. And then once you're in there, you're in a safe place. And then usually a doctor comes, a psychiatrist. And then you tell him you have a drug addiction. And right in that rehab, they will connect you with a sober place to go. Just to get off the streets. So that's what I had to do, because I couldn't smoke crack another day, basically without wanting to take pills and kill myself. So I went to an emergency room and I told them, lock me down because I'm suicidal. And they're like, do you want to cut yourself? I'm like, no, it's even worse. I have a drug addiction. I keep on going downtown LA to get my drugs in the worst neighborhood. I'm going to either wind up killing myself or I'm going to get stabbed on the way there, please. And they're like, we understand. And they will gladly take you in if you tell them you're a drug addict. And then from there, they will help you get in some kind of facility. Yeah. And that's how I started my journey. Yeah.
So without having to wait 3 weeks or whatever, right? That's like a quicker
right
way.
Now, it's like you got to have this insurance, and they want to put you like in cliffs of Malibu,
and it's also very, very vulnerable.
All these fucked up places that don't teach you the steps, basically. But to save your life, if you don't want to get on that list, that you have to call every day, put yourself in a 5150.
And you can change your mind a bit. You had this impulse to change your life, and then 3 weeks later goes by, and you're back to using, and you no longer want to go. Right, even though the line is
they make money on that, like when you relapse, and a lot of rehabs make a lot of money when you relapse, and then you got to go to the emergency room, and then they put you back on, and they put you on like meds. It's like a whole thing, it's all this craziness, but the magic, and you spend millions of dollars on rehabs, and the solution is like it's $9 for an AA book. The solution is in the steps, where it's like free, so basically, it's free, the solution. I went to many rehabs. I went to so many. Some were like state funded and they were free, and some I had really good insurance, Blue Cross, and I was in there with celebrities and we're by the pool and we're talking, doing each other's makeup, but nobody worked the fucking steps. So basically, just get yourself detoxed and find a sponsor. That there are a lot of people in AA that work the steps the way Ansley does. Like, I'm not the only blessing. You just got to actually just go and listen.
That's true. Yeah. Like, going to a meeting could be a really good step, no matter what. And there are 212-step programs for, like, literally everything. But, like, an AA meeting could, because it's global. It's all over the world. Like, you can find one anywhere in the world. And, like, the thing is, you have to be around like-minded people. So if you want to get in shape, you go to the gym. If you're a dog, you want to go to the dog park. If you need to be sober, you need to go be around sober people that are, in agreement that, hey, there's no middle of the road solution. It's like, it's not about mindfully like drinking and using. It's just about removing it from your life completely. And so that is, it will be inspiring, you will hear stories, but, we're creating a community. We want to get to know people, like, and help, in a case by case or a group basis too. But, we're just also like really trying to like troubleshoot like the potential issues that might be going on. To answer your question, what does someone do if they're in active addiction? And
but it was really good the way you Cosmo suggested going to ER.
But then you could also just go to aa.org and simply just go to a meeting. There's so many meetings in the Los Angeles area alone, like from 5 a.m. till midnight. after COVID, it changed a lot, but there's still like tons of meetings, and there's also sex and love meeting, there's food meetings, there's all kinds of meetings. So some people who aren't as tortured as I was, that I had to go to like admit myself in a hospital, a mental hospital, you could just simply pick up the phone, go to, there's a 24-hour hotline, AA hotline, basically, and that could actually take you to a meeting. And basically, you could, it's just really as simple as that, but there's hard cases and then there's like lower bottoms. Basically, I was a hard case. I was a really, really hard case. Basically, I couldn't stop drinking and using. I had to get some clarity, go really to a sober living for like 6 months. A rehab. And then when I came out, I was so much better, basically, I wasn't drinking and using every day, so, but there is a solution out there. There is a solution. And we're going to talk more about that
on our next episode.
In our next episode or in the future, we're going to try to figure it out, like how to, sustain these steps, help you guys sustain these steps,
and stay in, get a meditation practice, stay in it, all this stuff. So, and next week,
the meditation, that was like when you taught me that, basically, because I wouldn't pay attention, I wasn't listening, and I couldn't focus, and and for me to sit still was horrible. But then you gave me that the mantra. She gave me a mantra, and it works. So anytime my head would start going crazy, I would just stick to this mantra, and then I was able to sit there 20 minutes, and I was like, wow, and even longer. And like, sometimes I would even be in such bliss that I would like fall asleep, so, if I could do it, you guys can do it. And we're going to try to, spread the solution, and
Right.
Are you excited?
I'm really excited to get to know people and try to help people. And I want to tell you guys that we have a really special guest coming next week, Jimmy Angel.
Oh, Jimmy Angel.
Will we be able to secure him?
Yeah.
You guys have connections?
Secured. Yeah.
Okay.
He's already confirmed.
Yeah, he's amazing. Hollywood icon.
He knew Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
He knew Elvis. He went to high school with Elvis Presley. He kind of looks like Elvis Presley.
He does.
He was the mob's Elvis. So this is like the mob. It's like going to be like a mob type of
little get together.
Yes,
yes.
It's going to be amazing. Burbank icons.
Burbank mob wives and husbands. Yes. But anyway, yeah. So thank you guys so much.
It was good,
Eugenia, thank you. Oh my God, it was a disaster in the beginning. But you know what happened? It all came together.
All you need is a little bit of a duct tape, and then things work.
That's it, honey. Yeah. Ansley, thank you so much for showing up and help spreading the word and sharing, about how, our relationship together and like how you help so many people. And I really appreciate you. Yes.
I really appreciate you. People are like, I feel like, wow, like, oh my gosh, this is my neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your whole neighborhood. This is like, I've got a front row seat.
It's a metaphor. That's right. Love your neighbor, no matter who they are,
But especially if they're the Queen of Melrose.
Thank you guys so much.
We have a good time.
Yeah, it was a good episode, I feel like. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening.
We'll see you next week with Jimmy Angel.
Jimmy Angel, let me do a couple
plugs. You're going to
plugs.
love Jimmy Angel.
Let me do a shameless plugs here. So queenofmelrose.com for merch. Please support Cosmo. He has cameos as well. CosmoInternet.com for fashion. Subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. You like to say that? Subscribe. Please subscribe. You want to say that? Please, do you want to ask that?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube. Basically, we have a podcast that we are right here. TikTok.
Instagram.
Go ahead, girl. Bring it on home.
All of that.
Bring it on home, girl.
And then stop by Cosmo's store. So Cosmo is there not all the time because she's a busy star right now, up and rising. But if you want to make sure that if you're driving, if you're flying all the way from Canada or like Australia, please call the store. Please email me queenofmelrosecosmo@gmail.com if you really want to see Cosmo. I don't want you to miss Cosmo. So if you want to come hug him, we can arrange it. So, and yeah, if you're in LA and you haven't stopped by Glam Squad or Cosmo and Donato, I don't know what you're waiting for, because there's Burning Man, right, that we are dressing people for.
Oh yeah, right now it's Burning Man, so it's really big. The stores are packed, a lot of characters, a lot of people walking around naked there, honey, with little Burning Man fashions, and basically yeah, it's kind of like the biggest time of the year.
And if you're going to Burning Man, like obviously Cosmo and Donato and Cosmo's Glam Squad are in fashion bleep. I can't say that word on camera. Next door, yeah, all the three stores, and then yeah, just stay.
And remember, stay queen and sober.
Stay queen and sober.
Fashion through sobriety, darling. Yes, honey.
Yeah.
And you guys must come see the stores. So there's Cosmo and Donato, there's Cosmo's Glam Squad, there's the Rock and Roll store, and we also have Shoe Whore LA, where it's shoes and fashion.
Yeah.
So please come and be a part of.
And I'll put all the links down below with like Instagrams, everyone's Instagram. Ansley has a YouTube channel as well. So this video is going to be on her channel as well. Her version, she will edit it, or I'll give you my edit, whatever. So what's the name of the channel?
It's the Polymath Podcast.
And I'll link it down below. My Instagram there as well.
Yeah.
Ansley's Instagram going to be there.
Yeah.
And
Ansley.Weller is my Instagram.
I'll link it all down below. And then I have an Etsy shop if you want to support, also down below. And I have a YouTube channel. I always link it, but some people don't read description. But there's always some good stuff in the description if you want to find us anywhere. Please do. But other than that, thank you so much. Very grateful. People complain that we're trying to sell like a t-shirt or something. But guys, like, we need to make money a little bit, and we're bootstrapping, and this all takes a lot of time. And Cosmo should be at work right now, right? Like at the store,
Yeah.
right? And like doing like other appearances, but we are carving out time, so we're not asking for too much. But if you could support, we would really appreciate it, because we need money to grow it and sustain and buy a better camera holder and a camera, and maybe hire a team at some point.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And then Burning Man ticket sales are a lot less than they usually have been throughout the years, like a lot less. So basically, we want to keep those doors open, you know. Cosmo's Glam Squad, it's been there for like 30 years. And then also Cosmo and Donato, you know, we want to keep those doors open. And it's not easy, because you guys know the foot traffic on Melrose has been challenging since COVID and all the protests. So like the world is really like, retail's really hard right now, guys. So basically, that's why our merch is doing really well, though. I want to thank all the fans, though.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Like, we are selling out of the merch, the t-shirts and the hats. But
which are handmade, by the way, in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So support the local artists.
And literally, like, Eugenia and her mother is steaming those shirts, okay? The heat press, all of it. The blood, sweat, and tears is real, honey.
Handmade.
Yeah.
With love.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, thank you for all the support, for buying all the merch, for visiting Melrose, for people are flying here from, like, I came here from New York, I came here from Florida just to meet the Queen, and I really appreciate that.
Spirit.
You know, and even Europe, you know. They're like, who was it the other day? Oh, Italy. They come in, you famous in Italy, and I'm like, I am? Like, girl, Italy, the whole family came.
France, same thing.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? Of course he's famous. He's everywhere.
It's
Everybody knows him.
amazing.
Yeah. It's
what a
amazing.
great feeling.
Yeah.
But believe me, there wouldn't be any of that if there wasn't this right here, you know. So I'm glad to share it with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you guys next time.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Mwah!